Welcome to the Nic and
Hello.
Randy Show. How are you, Randy?
To the Randy and Nic Show.
Oh, is it still the Randy and Nic Show? I was hoping I could just slide that one in there and no one would notice and it would catch on.
Oh, no. Because the little people that we have watching us right now, they make note of these things. Which is, I should say, by the way, to all of you, before I start, diving into our conversation here, what I find interesting is the people who are watching here. Wrong time to take a sip, but I got dry mouth. You guys are the ones that will be the remembered ones, so to say, at the early shows and stuff like that. I think I've now understood in context to everything else that we do that we have a group of people that will follow us no matter what the trajectory is, and they will keep up with us because they're not following the content, they're following the person.
Yeah.
And I'm now understanding. I've always knew this, but living it, understanding. I'm now understanding the impact of Randy Vasquez, the brand, Nic and Sweeney, the brand, and how sometimes our worlds they do overlap. I mean, you do your photography stuff and your videos too with your little shorts and stuff like that, and I do my music stuff, and we still have overlap with tech and with this and stuff like that, and we have people that will follow you exclusively, I've noticed. I have people who follow me exclusively that I've noticed, and then we have people, and maybe while you watching this, because I try to promote, obviously I like to promote this as well, I like to add overlap and bleed through on all things, because if people are following me for me, regardless of what I'm doing, I the role of a online persona that we kind of talked about last time is my preference, and it is a preference. I like to be transparent. I will be known for many things, and I know that I'm known for sometimes being I know I'm known for my impersonations and being funny, and I also know that I'm known for being extremely honest and upfront, and sometimes I say things very directly. And I also know I'm known for calling things out, and I know that I'm also known for having a good time. However, you, audience, likes to, identify me as in this field, I always want to be genuine, and I'm pretty sure I've said that. And that's the part where even though I've said that, I struggle about why anybody if 3 people watch this video, why do you watch me or Nick?
One of them's my mom.
Well, hi, Mrs. Ann Sweeney. I like watching, not watching. I like talking with you. You and I talk. The whole point is we talk about these things anyway, and so I know why I would watch this because I'm living it. So I know why I'm doing it. But as an outside perspective, like, do I really have something that insightful or something that interesting or that entertaining to share or say that would want somebody else to just sit in the room? How cool would it be to be a fly on the wall listening to Elon Musk for a day and see how he lives? I was like, people do that about me, and I don't understand why, but they do, and I'm very grateful for it.
I don't know. I've never put that much thought into it. I guess you're probably right, but I guess I just think of them as my extended friends. Like, it's not these
there is a relationship
random people
there
who are wanting to look in on our lives. It's like, it's Grant, it's Jay, it's their friends.
Drew?
And Drew. Definitely. Big fan of this show, specifically. Yeah.
I think about people that I reference Drew because it's someone that we work with and someone that we know and someone we do consider a friend, but they all have served the same field that maybe it's support. I think about the support factor of how people want to show their support, and maybe people are just interested in what we have to say, and I know I like teasing it because eventually it will happen, but I like how we, it's like, what's more interesting than the perfect cube? But
I don't know.
That's not today. That's not today.
It's not today.
That's not you.
No.
That's going to be the ongoing. We'll see when it happens, but that's the ongoing thing. The perfect cube.
When it happens, you guys are gonna love the perfect cube as much as
you and I know we're ready. When you and I are ready, but the perfect cube.
the perfect cube. Man, well, welcome to this fourth episode, I believe. Fourth? I don't know. This isn't the kind of show that, like, I haven't paid too much attention to its growth or really even the production process of it, because this is a show that I'm making with my friend, and it doesn't really... I'm really just recording. The reason why I'm not looking at the camera as much is because I'm looking at my friend Randy, and we're having a conversation. So with that, what do you think we should talk about today? Do you have any good points? I have a few, but I wanted to open up the floor before I took it all.
No, I think I'm more fixated. Well, I guess not nothing particular. This is actually more candid than anything, because I haven't asked you, so this is just being documented as we're doing it. But have you been affected by these blizzards and cold climates and stuff?
Yeah, not as bad as some people, for sure. So if the power goes out while we're recording this, I guess I will be affected. But as of right now, I've been very, very fortunate to not have much effect at all. We do have, I don't know, about a foot and some change snow out there, which is a bit, I guess. I mean, it's not the most.
Is that normal?
I mean, it's the maximum amount that would be considered normal, and we're supposed to get another 6 inches tonight. So I think I think it'll be a bit more than usual. Definitely the power grid around here is strained. Everyone's talking about how to turn off lights if you don't need them and stuff. So I've been very careful to leave stuff off. Actually, we did have a pipe burst a couple days ago, 3-4 days ago. So basically half the house's water isn't working, which is fun. So thankfully.
I'm so paranoid. I have a candle lit right here because I like the smell, and I don't like to smell this guinea pig when I'm downstairs. But I also, when I talked to you earlier, I was at Target buying more candles, like the bigger ones, so it can illuminate more, because one thing that for you guys, I lost power last week, midweek. This time last week, I was the whole city of La Mesa was out, and over 3,000 residents were affected. And it wasn't because of rain, it wasn't because of snow or hail. Well, we don't get snow. We did get hail, and it was just as white
hail
as snow
in San Diego.
Hail.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was crazy.
That's not legal.
And I was like, you better give me a tax reduction, because what are my taxes going to then? Like, if I'm going to pay Southern California coastal taxes, you give me Southern California coastal climate, not hail. But we just lost power. You know what's funny? I actually had a lot of I talked about it on the tech podcast, but like my cam link doesn't work. My dog's about to start scratching. We purposely waited until she finished scratching to lay down. Hey, hold on. I just want to see if that ever gets picked up on the mic, because I'm using a different mic. I'm actually using a different mic because the whole setup, like, I moved a lot of my audio stuff to my walk-in closet, because I've been recording music on my spare time. So even with power outage, I was able to get work done, and I've been writing music. But and actually, when will this episode go up?
This one's going out pretty quick.
Okay, so then I'll make this as the exclusive before anything else. I'm going to preview something, not right now because it's not ready, but just as a teaser to the teaser, I'm going to preview something that I'm working on that I'm really excited about, and I've been kind of working. I've been staying up really late, working on. I hear noises going on outside. It's something I'm really excited about. It's a passion song project thing that I'm working on that's really cool. So the beauty of the MacBook is that the power's out and I was still able to work, and I'm really excited about that. I got that very, very secret video I've been working on about the soft reboot of my channel is just about done. I'm actually doing audio fixes to them right now. Oh, wow. And so video wise, everything's done, and it's very cinematic in the sense of like just it's not a fixed angle, and so so I got that going on. So I with the power outage, I've been busy, thank God. But the downside of my MacBook is this dongle not working well with my CanLink, and I have not been able to do streams. I have not been able to properly record a proper Talos of Tech or EV podcast. I'm lucky how we're doing this is I'm just recording straight into my SD card, which gives you granular control, but I like the idea of streamlining.
And I get to deal with a 12 or 15 gigabyte file, so yay.
I know. Yeah. That's the part I don't like, but the work has been good, but outside of all that, I've been honestly, outside of the candles I've been buying, I'm prepping for myself to just leave. As in, if the power goes out again, I'm gonna take. I got my backpack right behind me that I pulled this camera out of because I was ready to go work somewhere else. I was gonna get a cabin up in Big Bear, and I was just gonna sit there for a week and work. That is very. I haven't even told Nick that. That is very true. I was so close to just leaving San Diego for about a week, but then I was like, I could take Kiko with me. But then I got Wednesday, my wife's guinea pig. Okay, it's the family guinea pig. I just, it's a rodent. I don't care. She's not going to watch this episode, so I can say that. And she already knows how I feel about it. But I was like, that thing's going to die if I just leave for a week. So I had to figure other things out. But I'm still ready to leave.
Wednesday and I are friends. It's a little offensive that you want to just kill Wednesday.
She let you pick her up like it was nothing. You just scooped her and she just let you. What? And when Kika first met you, she didn't bark at you. Which is
your animals
never
love
happens. Your soul bleeds through, and these animals that can pick up these sixth sense and stuff like that, like they just know good energy when they see it, I guess.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you survived the. I fear to call it the apocalypse of 2021 because we're only 2 months into this thing. But hail in San Diego sounds pretty apocalyptic to me.
That has to be one of the signs. That is in a Bible somewhere. I in the Bible I have to find that
it is
scripture.
It is not.
I'm sure it's
I guarantee that, but it seems like it should be. Got a question for you, Randy.
Okay.
What is your goal with being a YouTuber? Because you and I both went full time. What is your goal? What kind of content do you wish you could create right now?
Are we talking about topic specific or overall?
Anything goes.
Okay. What content do I want to create? Is that do I want to or that I am? Because I would say what I am.
What's the goal?
Yeah.
This is a.
Okay.
If you could wave your magic wand and have anything happen, what kind of content would you want to be creating?
I feel like I'm doing it now, but not at the production I want to do it.
Okay.
And not at the consistency I could do it. Problems being because it does involve sometimes streaming. What type of content? I want to make something. I want to make anything. The reason why I do this show, it has nothing to do with music or this might be the closest thing to a long-term vlog that I do. I like vlogging sometimes, giving life updates. I love, showcasing music. I love doing live streams of writing music, and I love interacting with people throughout any of that process. And obviously, as I've said many, many times, if I could have the perfect blend of everything, I'd love to incorporate skits and stuff like that, because at the end of it, I want to provide entertainment value. I want to provide a good experience. And I know that sometimes lately, well, not lately, but in recent years or recent months or whatever, sometimes the most hard-hitting videos I make are the ones that are serious in subject. And I think it has a place for it, but I don't want to be known as the serious guy, because I'm not like that. And I'm glad I have these other platforms that I can showcase it through the other podcasts, through the skits, so I could show my work. Even when I do music that's not lyrically driven, that there's no vocals, I could showcase the fun I'm having doing the NA song or doing just doing little jingles and tunes for podcasts and stuff like that. So I know I'm kind of out there in subject matter, but the goal of what I want to be making is I want the end result for people to be like they come to me, or they either whether they follow me on social media or they watch my content. It can be one and the same in the aspect of the one in the same part is the vlogging part. That's where it's like if I do something, like if I put a post on Instagram that might be music or something related, but sometimes I like showing memes, and sometimes I just like showing what's going on in my life, and that's the vloggy part of it. And that's obviously through an edited lens. Like that's not as transparent as it. Not that it should be, but just like it's in flavor of who I am. You're not going to come to watch me report on the events in Syria or something like that. Like, and though I could, like, and I meant that specifically because like one thing that I've always shied away from, and I don't know why, and it's something I've actually been racking around, is I've shied away from talking about the Marine Corps. And I've shied away about talking about my military experience. And it's only until very recently that I even started saying it out loud like I'm doing right now, where people would then see me on Twitter and they'll be like, oh, wow, you're a Marine. Thank you for your, the whole thing. And I've shied away from it because I don't know how to integrate. It feels like water and wine sometimes. Like I don't know how to integrate the two in my life, though I know it's possible. But my goal overall, however it's integrated, is I want to be associated as a person who loves his craft, in this case music, and it's tech too. Obviously it's tech, but I love the tech and what it empowers with music. If I can sum it up, music, minimalism. I flinch to say this, but investing, so many people bug me about it, and it's, I don't have a proper format of how to express this, but I know I can help. But investing is, when I'm not doing this, I'm in heavy in research of reading articles about not just SpaceX and Tesla or Apple or Amazon, but now I'm more about Bitcoin and all these other things. But minimalism, music, finance, and the technology that empowers all of it. If the catalyst, or not the catalyst, but if the common denominator of it all is the technology that empowers it all, that's where my love for technology comes. Is that I'm able to do all of this, that I'm able to invest from home. I don't have to go to somebody, that I'm able to make the music that I do, and I don't have to go to a professional studio or rent it out or hire a producer, that I can learn it all on my own because of the technology that's been given to us, the tools and the equipment that we have. And at the end of the day, it's people don't have to have a connection to those things, but the connecting factor is my presentation and all of it. I've made people interested in minimalism because of how I express it. I've made people interested in the downsizing of technology, which is contradicting the fact that I love technology because of how I've expressed it. And that maybe that's part of minimalism as well, but it's not. It's just healthy habits for psychological standpoints. It's the iPhone 12 mini was intentional. Getting the MacBook Air was intentional. You getting the MacBook 12-inch, intentional. Granted, I mean it's a status thing for you, but there's a reason why you're connected to it.
Status, I'd say.
Well, okay, that's not the right word, but you do. Yeah. You don't use it to edit this. Yeah. You do it because of your connection to passion. Ooh, sorry about that. Hit the mic. But yeah, so I that's the closest thing I can give to you. I just know that the common denominator is how I respond to things, and I think when I talk on any type of platform, people listen, and that's something I'm getting used to, because someone said verbatim, Randy, you don't talk often on X, but when you do, it's because you have something to say, and that's intentional. I want it to be fun, and it's just who I am. And the thing is, you and I were doing podcasts with Drew before it was cool, and that's always been me. This is the part where I would just want to be genuine. I want to be known for being genuine. It's that I'm just having fun. It's pinch me that we're getting paid. Pinch me I have to pay taxes on this because I'm just having fun. This is absurd. And I could not be more grateful for it.
That's a good way to put it. Well, it sounds
Will
like...
you answer your own question?
I can. Well, first though, it sounds like you're one of the lucky people who is in a position to easily obtain what you currently desire. I mean, you have already attained to some point the freedom, the creativity, and you've gotten the resources. You're at the point where you're able to create at that level that you want to, which is totally awesome. So,
yeah,
great job.
Thank you.
As far as me, I hadn't really given much of a thought to what the goal was here for content creativity. I knew that my day job wasn't fulfilling, like emotionally. It was fulfilling work, and I enjoyed the people that I worked with, but it wasn't like something I sprung out of bed excited about. You know, it was a job. So I knew that whatever I wanted to do, whatever I was going to do, needed to be something I wanted to do. And that was really the goal for me, to find something that would A, pay the bills, and B, be something that I wanted to do, and wanted to be excited about it. So I intentionally didn't start this full-time thing with the thought of needing to hit a certain sub number or income number or any of that. I wanted to do it for the experience, and you know, if I go broke along the way, then, you know, I'll get another day job. It won't be the end of the world. I'm young. Thankfully, I don't have that many responsibilities. I don't have to keep Wednesday alive, is basically what I'm saying. Although I would, because she's cute.
And she likes you.
And she likes me. Yeah, so there's that piece of it where I didn't want to walk in with many expectations, but recently I've been thinking about this a little bit more, and I don't want to waste my time either. There's a balance between exploring options and needing to just decide on one and start doing it. I would say, given that magic wand, Nic would fit best and feel most excited about life if he was the lighting production manager on a film set. I think that would be, or TV show or something, like some kind of studio where I have full control over all the lighting and I can just play with lights all day, because I love playing with lights. They're so much fun. I don't think that's super realistic right now, and that's a goal that I can start working towards, but that next step would be do more cinematic type of content. And for me, I'm very awkward on camera. Maybe some of you watching don't think so, but I think most creators can attest there's a little bit of awkwardness, especially as you're getting started out. Maybe, you know, the John Rettingers of the world haven't had this issue in a while, but I feel, yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of discontinuity as so. Anyway, all I had to say, I want to create cinematic type of content professionally at some point. Now, right now, I think what that means is doing more indie projects, you know, good YouTube videos. I think the Nic Picks videos are fairly crispy, and just making sure everything that I'm picking up, these skills that I'm learning, are something that is going to be useful. I'm not the kind of person who wants to be on camera. I I don't really like being on camera. I'd much rather be behind the camera and working on the production side. I know I've said that quite a few times, but it's worth reiterating. I'm not.
That just means it's true if you keep repeating it.
Right? Or desperately want it to be true. No, it's definitely true. I know there are a lot of people
having you out here and we filmed Twilight. I had so much fun, and the only part I disagree is when we did the Everybody's a Musician skit. I love your on-camera skit personality.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's not terrible. It's just not. If I had to do that every day, and I couldn't do what I would call the fun part, I wouldn't enjoy it as much. It wouldn't be something I'd be passionate about.
Yeah, it's not that fundamentally different. It's just if I could do it every day, I would use you every single day because it's that type of vibing off of one another.
Yeah.
Was not. It can't be scripted. The words were scripted. I said, hit these checkpoints. I don't care how you get there, just hit them, and you would. And the times when you didn't, because you forget your lines, so you just say like, "Yes, you did," or whatever.
Yes, you did.
That's the fun part of it all. That's the best part of it all. And I like being in front of the camera only because I know I'm good at it. If I knew I was good at lighting, I'd probably be behind the camera, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's binary. I know I'm good with audio.
It's not binary, but that's where I feel most at home, I guess.
Sure. If I could, let me give you. Okay, we're gonna think outside of YouTube then, and podcasts, and let me give you a different scenario. My perfect goal. I want to keep making music always because it's who I am. I want to keep making videos because it's fun and I love documenting. But I was always a musician first. I was born into it in the sense that like that was the first thing I ever did. I just have a personality. So in the sense that if I made music, if I had a band, for example, I think I would be a good front man and like the interviews and talking with the crowd and audience because I don't get stage fright. I do get nervous and anxiety in front of thousands of people, and I have done that before. But the adrenaline, that rush that you get, that high you feel when you in the audience, that's like stand-up comedians and why they can't never do anything else. I know what that feels like. Yeah. I was making people laugh unintentionally. Like I wasn't doing it for. I wasn't like at an improv and like airline food. What's up with that? It was just I would naturally. I know how to connect with almost anybody. Some people are just jerks, and that whatever. Those are the outliners. Generally speaking, I connect with people, and I don't know why I'm good at it because I think I'm more introverted than extroverted. Though I like being in front of people. Leave me to my devices, I'll stay home and just write music all day, and I'm happy. I go, as some people could attest, I can go a very long time without talking to people, and I'm recharging, or I'm busy, or whatever. But my perfect scenario, outside of YouTube and anything else that's today, I would like to have my own studio, an actual studio that produces music for myself and obviously for myself, but then for other people. So I can see myself as a producer, working with people, and that's behind the scenes, while also being able to do my own in front of the camera stuff. Yeah. But the studio would just be more. It would be two fundamental departments: audio, mixing, engineering, production, and I would love to have like a show formula. If I could. The best, honestly, I think, if I'm being really truthful, if I could be in a situation where you, me, and Drew, for example, are just that close to together, and we could go to a location, and for simplicity's sake, it's a house. I would want it to be. I'd be the person who gets the big warehouse type of house, a dedicated room. I would do the big purchase and make that my workspace, because to have a set and have people in person, there's no real comparison to it. We make it work like this, and people are used to this type of thing, especially worldwide with the pandemic. But having people in person, oh man, this is where I just love people, especially my friends. Like working with friends is great, and I could see that. I know I can work with people who aren't friends. I've done it many times, as long as there's an understanding that, okay, if this is a work relationship, You hire me for said services. And this is what, and as long as we have those boundaries understood and we work, I know the synergy would be great. As long as that person pays me, I'll be good. But honestly, having my own studio would be amazing. For podcasting, for filming stuff, for making music, and just be that person and people. And I work with them; they work with me. That would be my end goal. But it would be in a sense where I want to be with my friends.
Yes,
I know I could be an individual business owner, and that's fine and all. I think the best output is always collaborative. And I mean, if people want to hear what I have to say or me ramble, then there's a Twitter or something for that. But when it comes to content and entertainment value, a collaborative nature is always, in my opinion, the best one.
100% agree. I also would love to have a physical space where you and I are closer, and so is Drew and other creatives. So there are lots of people who have lots of talent, but you're very right. There's a fundamental disconnect when you're physically separated, and everyone's doing it right now. We all have great lives. I'm talking about you and me, Randy. Like there's people who've lost jobs and lost family members, and not discounting that, but there's a place for that physical. Like we're just sitting on the couch that one night, and you're like, "Hey, I want to do a skit," and I'm like, "Okay, what's it about?" And then went the rest of the entire evening, right? Like it was, and some of the next morning. It's that level of spontaneity that is difficult to capture when you're separated, and then also just from a practical perspective, like I would love the opportunity to work with Drew and you and make each one of your videos perfectly lit. Just like I would love the opportunity to have you work with me and make every single one of my videos sound amazing, right? And it's that kind of synergy that is possible when you're physically close to each other. And so I as well would love to do a production company at some point with you and get that. But at this point, I'm not complaining because I have all the tools that I need to make all the content that I want to right now. And it's a wonderful place to be in, to not feel limited.
I'm complaining because I'm almost there. And I mean that very literally in the sense of like I just need a few more adapter away. Items. I feel like I'm one adapter away. I'm one adapter and one new living location away from just being able to really permanently set up things to last years. Everything. You've been in the office, and I think I've filmed enough parts of my office to show how empty it is, and I like the emptiness because this is where I come to focus and almost like meditate and just this is where I could be my most creative in my minimalism of not much things on the walls. And I could but what I can control is like my own lightings of having these, whatever. But if I'm being honest, to have the studio that I kind of imagine involves a little bit more than just my desk and a bunch of cabling off camera everywhere in a way that I like to set up. And I feel frustrated that if I just know where I'm going right now when I leave San Diego, if I just know, I could, all my energy would be focused on finding this new location. I feel like my drive right now is not because I'm not putting out the content I want to put. It's because my living situation feels like it's weeks away from change. As of recording this, we should be finding out this week or next week or maybe the following week or something. Like we're right there. We're right there finding out where we would be going. And that has me so anxious right now because it will change everything. If I go overseas, it changes, literally everything. If I go somewhere in California and I don't even leave the state, that changes everything. I don't think I would be buying another house in California just because I'm in either the Bay Area or Santa Barbara. I don't know. Like the anxiety is coming from the part that of having no control over it, knowing where we're going, and the conflict I have inside is that I'm used to this. I accept this because of my military experience. I know what this feels like, and that's the frustrating part. Is when I left it, I was like, cool. I now have control over my life again, and now it's like I actually don't.
It's not your life. It's yours and Brittany's life.
And I'm so
Kika is queen here.
This is Kika's life, and we just follow her. Yeah, I mean, we literally were on her schedule of her scratching the carpet before we hit record it. So I'm on her schedule for everything. But I would say I'm not complaining about, like, I support Brittany and whatever she chooses to do, and I follow her, and I would do anything for her in her endeavors, and her support of me saying, I don't know if I said this on camera. I know I've told you, but I don't know if I said this on. I don't know. Maybe I did. Brittany was the reason I quit my job. She told me to go full time.
I think you did mention that.
Okay. Yeah. I think about that as like, what an honor to have that type of support to say, she says, do it. And worst case scenario, like, I'm the one with a 9 to 5, so to say. And if worst comes to worst, we're still good. And I'm so grateful to have that type of support. And she told me, and I didn't even know, but she said, like, you did that for me when I opened my business, and you were the one working for the government and trying to balance all this stuff. And she's like, I just want to give back because you supported me for so many years. I want to support you. And I feel like what a pure example of love that in companionship and trust and support that says, I believe in you. And so I think my drive definitely comes from the fact that it's like I do almost everything for her. Even if she doesn't know it. I don't think I say it out loud enough, but I do it all for her because I'm on her borrowed time, so to say. But I work towards something. And, you asked me what my goal is. I'm getting older, Nic, and I've really been thinking about family, like starting a family in the next couple of years. I've never thought I'd feel that before. But it's like, what am I working towards? Like, I'm debt free. I have everything I've ever wanted. I'm living the dream right now, and I am happy. But what does it all mean if not to have at least for me to have some people just, I don't want family. And I know people who are older than me who's like, I don't want kids. I'm like, all right, that's as long as you're being smart with your, intimate relationships and stuff like that. If that's what then all right, who do what you got to do. But I'm over here like fantasizing of playing with a child and taking them to the park or to the beach, the mountain, and teaching, and just like giving life to a new thing that's in every sense of the word, no disrespect, Kika, but every sense, just so much more important than any other life I've been responsible for up to that point. And my mind's really been there lately. And again, that doesn't mean I'm just a dad and that's all I am. I just feel like now that I've done almost everything, I'm like 85-90% done of all the things I've ever wanted to do for myself. One of the other things is being a father, while being a musician, while being an entertainer, while
living in a cube.
While living in a cube. Yeah. So did you have any other questions thrown at you besides the goal?
No, I think that was the majority of that interesting conversation. I think I'd never really just sat down and thought like, what's the end game here? Like, what does Nicky and Sweeney want to do? I mean, I'm having fun. No complaints. Nothing like that. It's just I need to be not wasting my time and doing all those fun things, but with the focus of that end goal. And so for me, it would be working in a production type environment where I am trusted with doing lighting for many different projects. But then still being able to make content about that lighting. Like there are a couple YouTubers that I found who they're either contracted to do work on like small budget films, or they even have their own, they have a big warehouse that they converted into studio with beautiful backdrops and all that fun stuff. But they just have a camera and they just take you behind the scenes and show how it's done. And it's that kind of ability to kind of manipulate the world and with photons and with cutting things up and, you know, playing things backwards to make it look like it's hovering up instead of falling down, or, you know, there's all of these little cool production tricks that you get to play with as a cinematographer, that I want to share with other people. And so, yeah, that's why for every one of the Nicky and Sweeney Shorts videos, there's a behind the scenes one to go along with it, which we're still working on the one to go along with our go ahead.
I was going to say, I just wanted to comment really quickly. You posting things within the last 2 weeks, it's been like the highlight of the day of when I get to go sit back and just watch, because even though you're sticking to like, oh, well, this is what this is meant for, like for this channel, it's kind of still unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
And so you doing the lightsaber thing, like I was there, I was, you know, driving the drone, flying the drone. I'm like,
you were the drone pilot.
Yeah, and to see what you did with that footage is so cool.
Yeah,
you made it look so much cooler than us just kind of screwing around with and see what we could do with it.
And at the end of the day, it's not the most. The purpose of that video was not to really show off that drone footage. It was for me, and that's what each one of these passion projects is about. Like with the iPhone, here to here to here ad, it was me working with an infinity background, and that was the whole purpose of it, basically, to work with that kind of lighting environment. With this one, I wanted to learn how to synthesize sound, or maybe that's not the right word, but time it up with real life events and make it believable. So all of those lightsaber whooshes and stuff are all post, the music, all that fun stuff, and it was a fun project to take because I'm so used to editing videos, the video part of it, cutting together clips, adding in infographics and all that fun stuff, and transitions and dissolves, and I normally never give any thought to the audio side. And so it was a lot of fun to sit down for an hour and a half and make a 30-second video that's going to get no more than 100 views in the entire existence of its life. But it was fun for me to sit down and challenge myself. Okay, I have this pretty decent footage of Jordan and Emilio going at it with lightsabers. How can I make this something that I would want to watch? And so
you're dabbling in my world of audio engineering, which,
well, hey, you dabble in my world of lighting, Mr. Two Crispy Lights in the background. So I don't want to hear it.
I know, and I said before this part, I started recording, but I told Nick, I was like, hey, like whatever you're seeing right now, I guarantee is not what I sent him, because I'm filming pretty flat. This is me trying, because I have my settings. I'm looking at the monitor here, and I know when things are blown out. And so you have taught me things, but the idea of audio engineering and you trying to synchronize stuff and use these sounds is, when done right, it's invisible. It's not noticeable. Mm-hmm. And that to the end user, the final result is a good thing. And to those who live in that world, notice how professional it could be, is a good thing. And when you are passionate about, like, this is just something I would want to see, mm-hmm. It makes all the difference. That's, I know when I'm making something that I'm in love with, I'm just like, and I hate that the output becomes kind of damaged by it. Mm. But when I'm really focused into something, like, I give it my all. And that's where my love for writing music comes in, because I promise you, what you hear when it comes from me, if it's one of my songs, not working for somebody else, but when it's one of my songs, I am proud enough to show you what I have, what I'm able to do today, and just share. And there's also a part of storytelling in there that is very interesting. And I think storytelling, I like the idea of expressing yourself in different outlets. Mine would be music. What if you could storyboard something and tell a story overall For example, just using lighting. Obviously, there could be words and stuff, but I'm saying that like lighting dictates story. I know I made it like when I showcased the lyric video for Halo and I did my monologue first before it, I had these lights turned off. And that was intentional. I wanted to, it's like flying the flag at half mast.
Yeah.
It's to pay respect, so to say. I didn't want to be like, and so in a way, colors drive emotion as well. Lighting drives emotion. And now I'm actually thinking it out loud, kind of just getting it right now. I was like, how to tell a story using lighting, or lack of. Mm-hmm. And what's funny enough is you get to the point where it's too much lack of. You're telling a story using audio. Now, people would say that's what a podcast is, but to actually give you some type of, actual story arc in however long you want it to be using just audio, I know I've done many times in the past, just little things here and there. I use audio. That's why I made an instrumental album. I wanted to tell a story just using sounds and take you on this journey. And the only hint I would give you is maybe the title of the song, and then that would be all the influence I'd give it, and then you let the audio take you. That's what that album's purpose was. Now it's like, oh, could I do that with lighting? Me not being a lighting person is an interesting challenge. I like exercises like that. That gets me excited. Just talking about right now, I'm racking through my brain like, how can I execute that? That's exciting to me. I don't think anyone's doing that.
The list of video ideas.
There you go. Let me know how. Like that's very interesting to me. How can I tell a story using lights? Just lights. Maybe, obviously, some audio. I'm not just saying just exclusively that, but like the primary subject is the lights. That's a cool concept. No one's doing that. If it is, I haven't seen it. And if they are doing it, not enough people are doing it. And you want to talk about blowing up on something, being known for something, Nick? No one's doing that. If you want to be known for something, you'd be one of the pioneers of doing something like that. And it's documented that I inspired him.
No, not again. I refuse. Okay, this is not.
Hey, I'm glad I inspired you.
Oh my gosh, you are insatiable, Randy. Oh,
I love it. I have to dig at it. I have to.
Yeah.
Like you tell a story with those Apple commercials. Johnny Ive in a insane asylum white background is intentional. You could use black. That's also where dark I want to
background. Live, just for the record.
That's also where I want to live. Besides, in a certain mountain at a certain place with the
I would want the infinity wide background in one of the basement enclaves of the cube.
That'd be great. But that tells a story, and then Johnny Ive's voice tells a story when building such an intricate. We talked about not we, but overall in our worlds, Johnny Ive has been brought up a lot this week. But I'm glad you started it off your unboxing.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous that you got your passion.
Yeah, thank you for inspiring me. And this is something I do have to give you 100% credit for. If it wasn't for you, Randy, I wouldn't be holding my favorite
look how small that is.
Ever. Look at this. This is so small. Watch this. You ready, Randy?
Yeah, I'm watching.
iPad Pro, 4th gen, 12.9 inch with a Magic Keyboard case and an Apple Pencil. 12-inch MacBook. Same width. The iPad is like an inch and a half,
it's so
2 inches,
clean.
a solid 2 inches taller.
When Quinn goes out of his way to comment saying something like that,
yeah,
that's when you know it's a beautiful product.
This is every time I pick up this computer, I'm like, oh, so this is easier to use on my iPad. Like, it's lighter than my iPad. It's more compact than my iPad. It's
more beautiful than your iPad.
It doesn't feel awkwardly weighted when I hold it because the iPad, as cool as it is with its floating design, its center of balance is like near the hinge instead of down here because all the weight's up on the display. It feels, as they say, perfect. So, thank you, Randy.
Might I just say? Oh, you're welcome, buddy. I only pushed it so hard because of how you lit up. If we would have documented that for this episode of how you and I were talking about it, that would have been a type of lightning in a bottle because I just knew the more you kept talking about it, how it could not have not happened. And I genuinely believe that. And it's not that it was hard. It was not that it was easy. Like, it wasn't that much work, because just seeing you light up, it's like that's just, dude, when you unboxed it, and I stopped what I was doing, I rewinded and during the time, and I screen recorded. That was such a pure joy reaction of you just going, like, just when you open and you just took it in. One, the angle of you holding it was like showing the gold, so I wanted to screenshot it and clean it up a bit, but that your face react, like, that was not, obviously not scripted, but the way you were just looking at it, and you and the thing is, maybe I should have recorded more of it, because you went from talking to just man, like, that was such a pure reaction.
Because this is, I said it in the thumbnail.
If you ever wanted to see Nic drop the act for a second and see how he really is, that was how he really is, caught on camera. Even though you were filming, that was a very candid reaction.
Yeah,
that's Nic dropping his acting or her performance voice. That's Nic not really caring about the lighting in that moment, or the camera on, or what he looked like, or how he sat. That was Nic in his purest form, just drinking it in.
I did just stop and drink it in. Aren't you?
You are a treat.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really appreciate you inspiring me to do that, Randy. I know we give you a lot of gaff for that, but I mean,
it's fun. I mean, we're just playing around.
It is the best computer I have ever used, and that is including the M1 Mac Mini and all of these other devices that I've had the privilege of using and exploring and enjoying.
Yeah.
It's so impossibly thin, so impossibly compact. The battery is phenomenal, like 8 hours easy.
I have to stop you really quickly, just for a quick second. I will keep recording, but there is a delivery van right in front of my door, and I wonder if this is my MacBook Air. And naturally, Kiko wants to start scratching, but I don't know if it's for me or for my neighbor right here. So I don't know if I have to sign for something. That's a good idea.
This episode is sponsored by Ring.
Tell me more about. I like hearing you just describe what you're doing about the MacBook. Yeah. It's just MacBook. Such a clean name. Everything about it is so clean.
It's so clean, and it's quintessential Apple. And I totally understand why people hate it. Its keyboard is controversial. Its port situation is controversial. Its processor is controversial. Its compatibility is controversial. It's so controversial, but it is so me. It is so me. I want to have the best of the best distilled into the most minimalist form, and I've always wanted that. And I had this exact computer, not the same serial number, but the same model and same year and all that fun stuff.
You were getting me so nervous about that serial number thing.
Well, because I didn't know this. It's the biggest risk that I was.
You got me so nervous, by the way. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just want you to know that, like, I was getting lifetime anxiety. I didn't even tell you this, so I'll say it to everybody. I was about to take a shower. I had the shower running. I was naked, jumping in. Nic's live with it. I stopped everything I was doing. I got out, put my robe on, laid on my bed, and just watched you for 30 minutes or an hour, however long you were doing it. And I was like, oh, nope, I'm going to watch this in lifetime. And then as you were panicking, well, not panicking, but as you were like expressing concern about the serial numbers and stuff like that and how it wouldn't turn on, I over here like, I should have just taken the shower. I was getting so worked up.
You can't skip ahead when it's live.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
You still got your exact configuration though.
Yeah, I got it back, and I had this exact computer for 18 months or so, and I loved every minute of it. Like, it was the perfect computer for me. I loved USB-C. I loved the keyboard. Reusing this keyboard after experiencing all of the other keyboards that Apple has made, that is still my favorite keyboard. It has about an eighth of the travel of the Magic Keyboard for iPad. It has about a quarter of the travel of the 12-inch or the 13-inch MacBook Pro from 2017. And I know that the newer scissor type mechanisms on the newer Macs have more travel than that. I do not really like travel. What's going on, man?
Why? Literally everything from the trash can picked up to that's the Amazon delivery vehicle backing up.
Oh my gosh.
And so because it's Amazon, I don't think it's for me because Apple would not send it through Amazon, right? It's a dedicated. So. It's an Amazon van. But we're hearing everything, guys. I'm so sorry, Nick. I'm so sorry that
it's all right.
My wife is calling me. My brother's calling me. Everything that's like people just want to bug me. They're like, "Ooh, Randy must be busy. Let's bug him." Anyway,
that's how we roll. Yeah,
to bring it back into it though, I want to tell you I would love next time I see you you bring this MacBook. Unless I come to you, I'm curious about this 1/8 travel thing because I feel like I remember touching it at something, but then the more I think about it, if I'm being honest, I think the keys I touched were the second generation of something where they started adding more travel and it had that more clickier feel going on. To whereas I remember Mike telling me. Sorry, not Model Y, Mike.
The
Mike.
Actual Mike. The rocket scientist Mike.
the engineer, the one who's doing way better in everything. Anyway, I remember him almost using, and I might be wrong here, but I almost feel like he was using the adjective like mushy or something like that.
So yeah, it's the way to describe it. If you use I think the only keyboard we have in common right now is the Magic Keyboard. So I'm going to do a direct comparison to that.
Okay, I'll be with you.
The Magic Keyboard is, about 8 times the travel. So, Magic Keyboard is still really thin travel in all consideration. You know, the classic Apple scissors from 2008 or whatever are about quadruple the travel of that. But the MacBook's travel is about an eighth of that, I'd say. And
if you push down on the shift key on the Magic Keyboard without lifting it too much, but just let it spring and like try to bounce it without letting it unclick itself, that's about 1/8, and I'm feeling it, and that's crazy.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm doing both of those.
Oh my god, is there a click at all, or is it mushy like that too?
It is very precise. So what I love about this keyboard is there's almost no travel, but yet there's still just enough tactile feedback to make it not feel like you're typing on glass, because what I don't like is typing on an iPad where you have your keyboard and your tactileness is the capacitive.
Drew will fight you every day on that, which he's wrong. He's wrong. He is wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Somebody's going to screenshot this part, record. They couldn't help themselves. They're going to capture this part. Drew, you're wrong. Quite frankly, wrong. There's you. There.
So it has a lot less travel, and that travel is still you get about the same tactile feedback as you do on the Magic Keyboard. So if you push your Shift key, you get still that same like springy pushback. You have still about the same amount of force, but the distance you have to travel is about an eighth, which is pretty convenient. And then the other thing that I like with the Magic Keyboard, iPad Magic Keyboard, not the. I think there is an old Magic Keyboard back in the day, but the Magic Keyboard for the iPad is what we're talking about. Yeah. Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this.
I know, but this is a Magic Keyboard.
Oh. Is that what that is? Okay.
This is a Magic Keyboard. Yeah.
This is also a Magic Keyboard. So we're talking about this Magic Keyboard.
Yeah, I know. And that's the one. And that's the one I've been clicking, by the way, because you said iPad. So cool. I'm just I'm just saying that you said there's a Mac Magic Keyboard. It's that.
If you click on one of the extreme edges of any letter key, you'll notice that like the whole key kind of tilts.
It leans
and then clicks down. The MacBook does not do that, and it has to be because it doesn't have a lot of travel. But if you click on the extreme edge of the key, the entire key still pushes down together. There's no.
But that was the whole mechanism of the butterfly, though.
Yeah. And so even the MacBook Pro, I guess the MacBook Pro also does it. Yeah. So the 13-inch MacBook Pro here does have the
Magic
same
keyboard
level
or the
of
butterfly
uniformity
Yeah.
of depression. But that's something that the Magic Keyboard doesn't have, and something that old classic Mac keyboards also didn't have. I have a wired numeric keyboard, and this one's very, very chiclety. It's the OG chiclet keyboard. So, all that to say, this is my favorite typing experience. Now, I wish it had a touch bar, because I'm a lazy typer, so I do love the predictive text and supported apps. It's very nice to just be able to punch in the word that I want after typing in 3 letters.
I don't think I've ever heard lazy typer before.
Oh, I'm the world's laziest typer. But
I'm a lazy typer.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means.
It means that I'd want to do as little work as possible and still get the same-ish result. So, yeah,
that's why you talk to Siri. I always get when you talk to Siri on your watch, and you send me a text.
I haven't worn my watch in like 2 weeks, dude.
Well, it hasn't happened recently either. But when you do it, I get a text message saying sent with Siri or sent by Siri or whatever, meaning you audibly did this.
Or with my AirPod. I'll do that a lot of times.
Well, it's probably that. Well, regardless, lazy typing. You don't want to. You're not writing. You're just talking.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the best computer for me ever. Now I'm going to use it for scripting and for, light portable tasks. So I'm not going to be throwing anything at it.
As a brand new device, you still could get AppleCare on it, right?
I looked it up, and I need to call Apple about it. But I did buy it from a third-party seller, which I'm not sure if they will support, but it is brand new. So I was thinking it might be worth calling Apple. I did look at the website, and it errored out when I entered in the serial number. So that's how you know it's old.
My God.
So I figured if I called someone, I might be able to get them to let me do it.
This serial number is so old. This is back from our 32-bit infrastructure. We don't use that anymore.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. I think my suggestion, my recommendation is to get AppleCare so you can replace the battery and replace all these things.
I looked at the battery. So after we had the startup scare, I went into system information. It had 1 battery cycle on it, which I'm pretty sure is the battery cycle that depleted over the 6 years. So there is no degradation on the battery whatsoever. It's still max amperage is the design amperage.
Beautiful.
Its keys had never been pressed. That was kind of a fun experience. After I set it up, I was kind of like, I'm going to push the function key. And this is going to be this first time that this butterfly mechanism has ever been pushed. Click. Okay. That was an experience. I just stopped and took it in. And this is probably the bigger takeaway here. I've been so inundated with technology recently that it had been a long time since I've truly enjoyed an unboxing experience as much as I did enjoy that unboxing experience. Obviously, iPhone packaging and iPad packaging is fine and beautiful and stuff, but there's something about something that's nostalgic to you and reliving. I remembered unboxing my original one at an Apple store after saving all my little pennies and dropping down the 1600 or whatever it was back in the day, and very carefully I remember the Apple specialist used his guitar pick and slit the opening plastic, and I was like, no, I wanted to do that. Anyway, but it was being able to relive that experience it's just so worth it. It was. And it's not going to be something I'm ever going to get rid of. I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm going to be that guy who's 70 years old and still has this MacBook sitting in the drawer somewhere. Even when it doesn't
be
work.
Worth something by then, I think. I feel like at that point it'd be worth something. I know, who cares? You're not going to get rid of it. But just the thought of my dad told me he found in his garage, his dad, my grandfather, his dad, he remembers having an original Apple II, and he found the motherboard in the Now this isn't recent, by the way. This is and that unfortunately that motherboard and its chat and everything is all long gone. And that's what it, and that's me getting to I guess the ending first is that he wishes that he still had it, but he remembers seeing it and he was like, even back then my dad, he's not an Apple guy like that. He does, I mean he's indifferent, he doesn't really care like that. But he was like, man, I wish I still had that, just because I don't know if it's because he thought, I think maybe he would have said, oh, it's probably worth a lot of money, but I also feel like there's something about like, I have this, like the longer I have my OG Apple Watch or 5S, the more I want to hold on to it because I'm like, now you're just a relic at this point.
Yeah.
And you can appreciate, much like your MacBook, you could just appreciate the artistic design at this point. You're like, wow. Like we've gone so full circle. We've gone back to squared corners, and like I will hold on to this iPhone 12 mini forever.
Totally. Oh, this the more I learn about technology, the more I realize that it isn't ever fulfilling, and getting that next device is never exciting. So choosing your technology and making it so that it is as special as it can possibly be for you is not going to be completely satisfying because nothing will be. But making sure that it's special to you and something that you're going to hold on to and keep for a long time and just enjoy it. Like, I love this little mini. I'm not planning on upgrading this year. Like, it'd have to be a 12S Mini Pro. The only way I'd upgrade. Only way.
Yes. Especially because if rumors right now, welcome to the Tech Podcast, everybody. Rumors have it as portrait video is in works. Yeah, I remember saying like that would be the one thing that
wouldn't sell me on it. It would be the stainless.
To be honest, I know I've been saying like, oh, that would have to be the thing. The more I think about it, the reason why my answer is no is even from a practicality standpoint. You're using new sensors with it that I don't think, if it's hardware related, which it would have to be, if you're software locking it on the 12 series because of upgrading, then I'm not going to upgrade just to stick it to you. But also, if it is hardware related, that's a Gen 1 product of doing that new thing. I wouldn't want to use some crappy, terrible blurred edge iPhone 7 Plus version of portrait mode for a video, and even more so, and if I'm being really honest, and where you've inspired me and all that stuff is getting so involved with my Sony. I love this thing, even though we have to find little workarounds about audio synchronicity at that point. Like the more, just watching your Nic Picks stuff talk about I love my camera. I love this A6400, and I love how minimal it is. And I don't want to. I know what it is. I think on a more like human base, I'm outgrowing iPhones in the sense that like they're plateauing. I'm so much more. If we're gonna talk about tech as an adult, I'm so much more interested in what SpaceX is doing. I'm so much more interested about Neuralink. I'm so much more interested about Starlink. And granted, okay, so I just did 3 things that's all Elon, but Elon's doing different interesting things, and there's other people outside of Elon. Like I would actually say that building with this perfect cube, having the perfect smart home appliances, Apple's not in that game like that. And I think about certain tech that would better my living situation, and that's more interesting to me than. But this one has a faster refresh rate or video bokeh. My iPhone is perfect as it is for its size, and I've always wanted that size. I use most of my FaceTime calls on the iPad, so I could be hands free anyway. Like it's just more practical to do FaceTime.
FaceTiming?
I hate holding my phone. You want to talk about being lazy? I hate holding my phone. Not because it's heavy. I just want to be hands free. I use my FaceTime almost exclusively with iPad. And so I found my purpose of why I would keep a MacBook and an iPad around, because iPad will still give me the better FaceTime, and I like the interface of iPad OS. And iPhone, it's it's purposely keeping me off my phone, and I'm so happy about it. I feel, if I'm being honest, I feel a little mentally healthier realizing how little I've been. I like looking at the. If anything, I'm more addicted about looking at the screen time just to see at the end of the week to be like, how am I doing? I feel pretty good.
How low can you get it to go?
Yeah, it's a good challenge. I like these mental challenges and stuff like that because it makes me. You were talking about. I don't know if this is not supposed to, I don't know, but you're talking about how you went out improv photo shoots and stuff like that, or you're gonna go shovel some snow. But the fact that you're just getting out of your little tech bubble and you're like living is more gratifying. And
Totally.
and I want to. It's not that I want to be known, but the contradiction that I am aware of is that I appreciate what YouTube and everything else, etc., etc. I'm grateful for it, but I want to be known for helping promote better life habits and stuff like that. If that's my goal, my takeaways of me as a person is I want to be remembered. I talk like I'm about to die, but I would want to be remembered as someone who was trying to promote better habits. And if that even means by learning by my own examples of my failures, then use me as a lesson to be better. I think about like why I avoid talking about the military experience and stuff like that, the Marine Corps stuff. I think a bigger thing that I find passion in, I just don't know if I have the courage or the strength to do it, is I want to be a better advocate for mental health. And if I could help my fellow service members, my brothers and sisters in arms, and be a source of comfort for them, I would want to do that. But I don't want it to just be military or combat related. I would want it to be life related too, and promoting better mental health, or at least because some things you don't have control over. You can control over your smartphone addictions and stuff like that, but certain depressions, or if you have post-traumatic stress, anything like that, some things you can't control. And I find so much passion in trying to provide comfort that, if anything, I try to lyrically, when I write music, I try to draw parallels to it, so that way I had somebody tell me, it's like, your music resonates with me because lyrically, like, they're like, I don't necessarily care so much about the sound of it as I care about the story that you're telling me. And I've never been told that before. Normally it's like, hey, I like that sound. It's something. I'm like, yeah, it's fun, right? But then somebody actually is like, no, lyrically, I like what you're saying because I connect with it. Someone who's not a service member, somebody who has not shared my struggles, still found a way to connect with it. I'm like, wow, that is interesting. And I want to be an advocate outside. If I left entertainment, if I left media, I would want to, but I don't want to be a psychiatrist. That's the thing. But I want to find a way to help people who struggle with mental disorders and stuff like that. And it can't be something as simple as get off your phone if that's what the remedy needs. And I want to be an advocate for that, but I don't want to be a hypocrite either. So it's weird. It's a living, breathing thing, because I'm a living, breathing thing. So it does adjust.
Exactly.
It's interesting.
Yeah. No one's going to have the same thoughts forever, but I can appreciate that. That's good.
I think keeping yourself around people who are like-minded, though, does play a factor and stuff like that. Like, I know that I feel more comfortable talking about this stuff with you than I would with another friend, because you and I, it's not that like, hey, we think the same, think tank, but it's more like the end result makes sense. And therefore, if the ends justify the means, and the means mean get off your phone, I know some people who can't. They have a tick. They have to every 3 seconds. They have to. And I feel sad, but I can't help them if they don't want to be helped. And sometimes they're like, just leave me alone. They don't want to be helped. Like, all right, sorry.
Live your life. Yeah. I'm excited for you, man. It's going to be a great season of change that's coming up, and only good things are going to happen. And you have a lot of stuff looking up to you as far as being creative enough to make any living situation work, and being able to create the kind of content that you want to create, even though you or doing it basically right now, you're going to have that ability to create it even all that much more as time moves on, and a place where you don't have an Amazon truck making noises right outside your window and ruining this entire recording, which we're going to have to re-record the entire show now because of this. But you got you got lots of stuff that's coming, and it's very exciting.
Do you think you would find your goal is production, working on lighting? Do you think you could find peace or comfort or acceptance in not reaching that and being okay with something else if it changes? Would you be okay with that, or do you? It's if end goal gets you there, then that's all it is. Like that, I guess my question is, you're deviating from that path or so. The threshold of that, where's the boundaries for you? Are you okay with realizing, like, hey, you know what, I'm really getting into this audio thing, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, things definitely change. I didn't want to be an audio tech or audio technician, lighting guy just a few months ago professionally. So I'm not saying that I want to do that for the rest of my life. But that's something I'm passionate about, and I actually honestly I have always been passionate about lighting. Just with my photography background, being able to manipulate light in a way that creates art. Though not attaining that goal of working on some production of some sort is fine, because I know that whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to derive some joy from it. Even if I do have to go back and work a 9-to-5 job and do content creation on the side, I'm still going to make content creation. It's not going to stop. I'm still going to make stuff. I'm still going to have fun. It's just going to go back to the way it was, where I was working 50 hours and then 10 hours on the weekends for the podcast. And my creativity did feel stifled, and I am fine accepting that maybe one day my creativity will be stifled again. I'm not taking any of this time for granted. I realize that this is a great gift that lots of people never have. I have the support, the time, the flexibility, the lack of having a kid or a wife to be able to kind of say, yeah, you know what? Let's give this a shot for a while, see if it takes off. And as long as I'm making it, I'm going to keep making it. Making it as in financially and making it as in content, because it's something that I'm passionate about. And so to answer your question, I think even if I never attained that goal and I ended up just making YouTube videos or making something else that doesn't drive me passionately, it's still probably better than an office job. And even if I wasn't in an office job, I'd still look on the bright side of things, I'd hope, and fit in content where I could.
One more question to that. Outside of just not a passion job, say the tech podcast gets bigger, or any of the podcasts that are currently monetized.
The food podcast.
So the platform. The food podcast, absolutely. If that blew up, would you, and you're known for these podcasts, or one podcast, or three, whatever, but if one of them grew to the point where it's not only just paying for itself and extra money in our pocket, but now it's like it's fully income replaceable of everything, and that is the job. I know you find joy in it because it's your choice to wake up in the morning and choose to record, but would you, because I think about this for myself, would you be okay with if it was just that, and this is what I'm known for, and I accept that for this is what I'm known for? Or would you use that platform to shine light on, hey, by the way, plug, I do these things and I really love these things, and I'm still going to be doing this thing, not because it pays the bills, though it pays the bills, but because I also love this thing. But I've been working on this thing for years. And I forget that we've been working on this thing for years. I've been working on this thing for years. But I am currently really invested in that. When I'm not working on this, I'm over here. So if you want to come over here, look at that. Or I'm known for this. You only want to see me here. I'm right here. I will live here. I'm okay with it here. It's comfy. I'm comfortable. Everything's paid for. I have a living. I don't hate this. I'm with my friends. I'm doing this thing. I'll just do this behind the scenes anyway, as I have always done. But I'll just be known for this, and I'm going to live here. I don't have an answer for myself. I feel like if that was the case, I accept this only because before, in this grand scheme of my life, only a small period of my life ever allowed this part to be on camera.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm not doing that, I was still always over here making the music. I would really want this to work, but if it didn't, if the music is only for me, then the music's only for me. Then that's fine too. I don't know. I don't have a direct answer.
Going back to the group of people who, care about us enough to follow us along on different platforms, I would say to be completely honest, and this show is all about being honest and not having the production mask on. I don't really enjoy doing the EV podcast as much as I do creating other things. Sure. I don't mind it. I'm still doing it. I'm having fun doing it. And when it stops getting fun and it stops becoming a burden, then I'd consider not doing it. But it's not the most interesting part of my week. I do love the Cybertruck, though. And so I think...
And being concerned for it.
I'm always concerned for the Cybertruck. And I think as long as it's not too different of an audience, like if I started up a photography podcast, I wouldn't necessarily expect most of the tech podcast audience to go follow me there, mostly because they're not there for me or you. They're there for Drew and the three of us. It's our chemistry that's going on that they appreciate, and that's what makes us unique on the tech podcast. What really is important is finding what makes you unique on whatever platform or topic that you're discussing, and really leaning into that. And I haven't quite found that yet for photography or any of my other stuff, which is kind of why I'm still struggling putting a specific goal on any of this, because I don't feel like I've found that yet. And I think I'm at the point, though, where I just need to just kind of pick something and start in earnest. So I definitely think it's going to be more photography, cinematic type stuff. But I do want it to be kind of regular too. So anyway, there's still a lot more thought that's happening there. But yeah, I think
I love what you're putting out. I'm enjoying it because I'm into videography specifically, but learning about photography, learning about the technical part. There's tech involved in that too, which is why I think tech is a great subject regardless. You teaching about the lens, the kit lens, the frames. I mean, we talked about that before, but like all that stuff, I had so much fun just learning it. And I think I the bias of leaning on you over anything else is because I understand your standpoint of saying, hey, do more with less.
Mm-hmm.
Do more with less. There's your slogan.
Yeah.
Documented it. This happened because I get it. I get it. But
I have
but
zero
that's
original thoughts. It's official. Between Randy and Scott, they give me all of the ideas in the world, and I just repeat them.
But I mean, do more with less is what you're promoting with your cameras and mm-hmm. with the Nic pics and stuff like that, and that's cool. It's cool because it's easy to do more with more, because at one point it's diminishing returns. It becomes counterintuitive. You're doing less with more. If you mm-hmm. have everything, you don't want to go to a restaurant and be given a dictionary for the menu of all these things that you can get. You don't care. Like no, that's too much. I'd rather go to a restaurant. I like going to my hole-in-the-wall places, whether it's, we go to Super Oscars or El Gordo's mm-hmm. or we went to Gaglione's. I want to go somewhere where you have a piece of paper and, hey, we got subs or we got Philly cheesesteaks, or we got cheesesteaks, or chicken cheesesteaks, or you get like it's simple. It's right there. Boom, done. One and done. You look at this one thing, piece of it. It's so simple, and I'm like, yep. Do more with less, and now quality outperforms quantity. So, that's how I see your ethos of what you've been putting out, and you promote it on the sense of like, I'm doing it with an iPad. Is there a stronger tool or application or platform? Absolutely. That's the point of why I'm doing it with the iPad. Stock Photos app, and then I'll move it over to not Procreate but Pixelmator to do little touch-ups. But all the color grading. Stock. I'm doing that on purpose. I do that with Logic on purpose. Everything you hear is there's no external plugins, and I know I can get better sounds for it. And if I'm being honest, there will come a time where I will move to external plugins because there's a certain sound that I can't.
I would also preface all of my conversations with that as well. Like I've moved to Final Cut. I've moved away from LumaFusion. So
boom,
it does happen, and it probably will happen, but.
Yeah, but the point is, the exercise of the mind is you're doing more with less intentionally. It's not it's not because you have to. It's because you choose to, and it helps people connect with it. For the people who don't want to, but they do have to, and then they're like, all right, well, my biggest inspirations is like, if he can do it, there's no excuse for me. One of my friends, he keeps putting out music so frequently. I'm like, it motivates me to go. I was like, he's no different than me, and I mean that very literally. Like we use the same DAW and everything. It's like it's all the same. So I'm like, if he's, there's no reason why I'm not working. I need to grind harder, and it's inspiring. It's motivating. We're motivating each other to do those things and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that's where you shine. Is that ethos of yours, and that's why I like watching it. Even if I don't think I'm gonna go take photography, sometimes you take some photos. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go take some photos now. Screw it, I want to go have some fun. That looks like fun. I want to go do it. I've thought about taking my iPad with me, get a dongle.
Rosy. Today I went out and I was like, oh, it's snowy. They're kind of concrete skies still, but it's like, oh, I can go get a few good pictures. I spent like 2 hours. I don't have a keeper, and I did review the pictures already. So, oh well.
That's okay. At least you were still productive with those 2 hours, and you were keeping your brain stimulated, and you were staying alive. It's staying home, vegging out on Netflix or YouTube or something is no way to live.
No, get out there and make stuff that you want to.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, I think this was a good episode. What do you think?
I like this one. I've liked all of them, but I like this one because it's culturally relevant to my life, as in being inspired. I feel like we're gonna finish this. I'm gonna call my wife back because she called me, but I'm gonna get right back. I'm more motivated to keep working on this song that I've been working on than anything. I just feel motivated because I want to do more. I just want to do more with less. I like it. Do more with less. That's how I feel. Nice. I'm motivated right now. Yeah.
Well, let's go forth and do good things then.
Let's go forth and do great things. And for everybody else,
do you want to check
us out? Sure.
Where can they find you on Twitter? We need to do that more often. Pump our socials.
On the off chance that somebody sees this that doesn't know who we are before this, if you're on YouTube, links to everything in the description. At Randy Vasquez, at Nic and Sweeney. But I mean, if you don't know how to spell Nic and Sweeney the right way, then you're not going to find them. How do you promote your
Vasquez the right way? You're not going to find
true. That's very true. How do you promote your Instagram? Do you do the Nic pics or do you do your personal account one?
I haven't really decided yet, and it was Nikias and I were talking about this today. It's like, Instagram is the place for photography content, and
absolutely.
I'm just not. I don't think I'm a lifestyle type guy, so like it's hard for me to like embrace that Instagrammer type lifestyle. As far as like making my Nic Pics videos more for Instagram instead of YouTube.
Sure.
Now, obviously, the pictures are still going up there. Nic Pics on Nic Pics, I think. Jeez, it's linked in the description, but it's there if you want to look at very beautiful pictures I post daily.
You don't have to be lifestyle whatever for Instagram. Like our friend Eva posts things too.
Yeah.
She does.
Sure.
Her thing is micro
Mm-hmm.
photography.
Macro.
She likes to punch in and get these interesting, artistic shots.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if she's gonna watch or listen to this, but if you do, I love it as much as I like looking at your stuff, Nick. It's interesting to see the artistic takes on stuff like that, and it's not a lifestyle thing. It's just, hey, it's another way of expressing yourself. I used Twitter to inform, and to also share some funny stuff from time to time. But I use it to inform. I use Instagram to showcase, and if I can bridge the two of the two platforms, and I see a lot of I have recurring audiences on both, or viewers or followers or friends, whatever you want to call them, our extended family.
Yes.
I see the overlap, but there's also, I got way more interaction and way more engagement on Twitter for certain things, whereas on Instagram I get more engagement on Instagram, which is interesting. So they do have their places and stuff like that. How beautiful would it be if we just had a universal one app to do it all? And I don't think it's ever going to happen, because even though they keep stealing it, right? Now we're going to get TikTok Reels on Instagram, and you could have a universal one app to do it all. But as I've grown older, I've understand that to keep up with the demand of your audience, it's just not going to work. People grew on TikTok and then went to, not TikTok, they grew on Vine and then went to YouTube and became Jake and Logan Paul alikes, and because they grew on Vine. TikTok similarly has done the same thing, and then they move over to Instagram and done the same thing, and vice versa as well. Little Pauly G, as he likes to call himself now, is an example of, he's like, all he does is do TikToks now of his CGI Star Wars stuff, and he's having fun. I don't think he does YouTube anymore or whatever. So I mean, it just happens. But I don't even know where I was going with that, guys. Randy and Nic. I'm cutting it off. All right, thanks for checking us out, guys. We will be back hopefully next. I would like to do weekly when possible. Okay. If it's not weekly, most of the time it's probably on me.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, like Randy's going through a pretty major life transition with like moving and stuff, so his schedule's kind of all over the place, and it's totally fine. So once
I get to my new location, whenever I get to my new location, whenever it has, I get more stability. I want to crank it out. I like having these conversations, and I don't know how many people are going to watch this. And if I'm being honest, I don't go look at the stats on this channel or on this show, because this is you and me talking, and some people watch. I know some people watch because they keep tagging me on clips when I keep calling out Drew. You suck, Drew. But outside of that, it's like I don't know what the engagement is, but this is for people who just want to hear
65 subscribers.
65 for this. Well, I don't know how many views. I don't know.
Pull it up.
Not every view counts as a subscriber. But as you bring it, but the point is, like, this is you and I talking anyway, and if somebody wanted to sit in on it, this is what it looks like. And we'll be back. To be fair, I do talk to Nic outside of recording it, though, so that happens too. But we'll be back next week, hopefully. I'm saying it out loud so I can hold myself to it. And I can't wait for us to have our perfect cube. That's how I'm going to end it.
Maybe one of these days. See you guys.
One of these days. Bye, guys.